Okay, so today we're going to be able to translate equations and multi-step inequalities verbally and algebraically. So it's just kind of like yesterday, just going to add on a little bit. Yesterday, actually, I brought up that we weren't using the parentheses. And you'll see one problem at the end where we do. So that's really the big thing. All right, so translate the following algebraic expression into a verbal one. All right, so just like yesterday, what I like to do is I'm going to start with A, B, C, and D, and I'm just going to go down. And anytime, once I find a discrepancy or something that doesn't make sense, that's not the same as what I have, what I'm looking for, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. And that's not going to be a good choice. So 8 more than 3. Well, we know that more than is going to be a turnaround phrase. So red flag right there. 8 more than 3 times a number is 22. So I know my equals is going to be here for 22. So I have 8 more than 3 times a number. So this is all one entity, let's say. It's going to be one part of our, excuse me, equation. So we know that 3 times a number is going to be 3x. Well, because of this more than, we know that it's going to be addition, but we have to switch them, right? We have to turn around numbers. They have to be flip-flopped. So here, I'm just going to put my plus. And 8's on the left of my plus here, so it's going to go on my right here. 3x is on the right of my plus here, so it's going to go on my left. And this would be my answer. And oddly enough, A is the correct answer. But let's go through the rest of them and see what we can find for discrepancies. So we have 8 times a number plus 3. So 8 times a number, that's just going to be 8x. Right away, 8x isn't what we're looking for. There's no 8x up here. Okay, so 8x throws us off. All right, C. A number tripled. So a number tripled, which is going to be 3x, decreased, which is minus, and we're looking for is a plus, so decreased is what throws us away. 8 less than 3 times the number. Again, turnaround phrase. So we have 8, it's going to be minus because it's less than. 3 times the number. 3 times the number is going to be 3x equals 22. All right, well, again, if we were doing a turnaround phrase, we would want to flip these two values. But since we have this minus here, we know that we're looking for a plus. D's out. All right, this is the one where I think you guys do a lot better at. It's going from verbal to algebraic, especially in the multiple choice platform. So the difference of 1/2 of a number m and 10 is equal to 15. So the difference, right, so it's going to be subtraction of 1/2 of a number m, this is going to be my m, and 10 is equal to 15. So we have to take all these little pieces that we have and just get them in the correct order now. Just to kind of bring us into a little bit of a segue, when we have the difference of, right, we have this subtraction right here. Well, really what we're going to do is we're going to use that subtraction with what comes after the difference of. So 1/2 of a number m and 10. So what we'll have is 1/2 m minus 10 is equal to 15. All right, and you can see that A is going to be our correct answer. Oh, sorry. B is going to be our correct answer, right? A is wrong because of the plus. C is wrong because it looks like they want to do a turnaround phrase, and D is wrong because of the 10m. All right, this one is a little tricky. So move some of this stuff. We're gonna have to go up and down to see it, but just bear with me. So when you have a lot of stuff, a lot of different values, different terms in your inequality or equation, I like to say, just go ahead and start writing, just start looking at your ABCs and just look for a discrepancy, right? So we have the square root of 81. So that's square root of 81. So that's a good start. Plus, so plus 2x plus a 7 plus 7 is greater than 20. All right, well, right here, we have an issue because we're looking for greater than. So A is out. All right. And to be quite honest with you, if you actually go through all of these, look, greater than, greater than. So B and C are going to be incorrect as well. All right. So it's little tricks like that. So without really doing anything, honestly, we could have just looked at this greater than or equal to sign and realized that A was going to be out, B was going to be out, and C was going to be out without really doing any work. But let's just make sure that we are in fact correct. So we have square root of 81, the square root of 81, plus the quotient. The quotient, what is quotient? Quotient is dividing, right? Plus the quotient. And that's going to be plus the quotient of. And when we get this of here, that's where we need to start thinking about parentheses. So I'm going to go ahead and put parentheses in my quotient symbol, my division. And I'm going to look at 2x and 7. And that's what I'm going to fill in here for my parentheses. 2x and 7. Greater than or equal to, right? Greater than or equal to, and 20. And you can see that this is the same thing that I have above. All right. For more than the product of -2 and a number k is less than 9. So let's start with this less than. Right away, I'm going to get rid of A and D. So I got it down to a 50-50 shot. All right, and I'm going to just leave that there. All right, here we have a turnaround phrase, and that's going to be for the product of a -2, and a number k. Right? Remember, it's a product, so they're being multiplied together. So we just have to switch places here. And note that when it's more than, we are adding. So I will have addition here and switch places. 2k is on the right of my addition up here, so it'll be on my left for my answer. 4 is on the left, it'll be on my right for my answer. And from here, honestly, you have enough to solve the problem. We know that B is not going to be out because we have a negative there. So the correct answer is C. And all we would have had to do is put a 9 in anyways. All right, so with this one, same thing, just do them by A, B, C. So A, the sum of 11 and 5. So sum means we're adding, and we're going to add 11 and 5 times the number n. So 11 plus 5n, and that's going to equal -1. So right away, we get our answer A, but we're going to check the rest of them just to make sure. So again, we have sum of 5 and 11 times the number n. So I'm going to have my plus 11, 5 and 11m. Notice I almost did a turnaround phrase there when I did not need to, but we see 11m. That's not going to be correct. The difference right here, no, because we're looking for the sum. We're adding up top. And D, the product of 11 and 5 times the number n. So the product of 11 and 5 times the number n. So with product, no, right? We're looking for addition. And last but not least, 1/3. Here we go. Big time parenthesis problem. 1/3 times the difference of a number and 6 is 3. So let's break this up. I'm going to do this in pieces. All right. So we have 1/3. 1/3. All right. Here we have times the difference of. All right. And when you see this, times the difference of, notice there's 2 operations going on in here, multiplication and subtraction. So what I want to do is go ahead and put parentheses. All right. And then I want to put my second operation, which is the difference, right in the middle. All right. And I'm actually going to go ahead and fix my first one. We know that we're timesing. So if I put this number 1/3 right up against the parenthesis, which we've seen previously this semester, that covers my multiplication because I'm going to be 1/3 times whatever's inside of this parenthesis, which would be, if we were to solve it, we would be distributing, sorry. All right, now I'm just going to look for what goes inside. So it's the times the difference of a number and 6. So I just fill it in, a number and 6. And we finish with is, which is equal, and 3. So that's going to equal 3. So our final answer is 1/3 x plus 6. Oops, don't make silly mistakes like that. Equals 3. And come down here and just look for your answer. Can't be A because of that plus sign. Can't be B or D because it doesn't have parentheses, right? But let's really focus on that plus sign. So it can't be D. And we'll look at C and B. I just want to point out that the correct answer is C, right? Because we have our parentheses. But B and C, even though they look really close, and the only thing that B is missing is these parentheses, makes a huge difference. That changes what these two problems mean completely. So please don't make any mistakes by accidentally not using parentheses when you need to. If you have any questions, please send me a message on Schoology or email me. Other than that, have a great day, and I will see some of you in person tomorrow.